A very warm good morning to all my dear students. Uh, as we have the live class today, and in the second hour, I discuss something related to the Coromandel fishes, and now it is a recorded class. So I am sending you one of the video in which I will be going to share you the bio sketch of the author, Mrs. Sarojini Naidu, and I will be sharing you the PDF which I am showing you right now. You have to write down these things in this class itself. Okay. Along with that, we read the story review. Remember, and we had a wonderful discussion that day on the live class, and even yesterday as well. We loved the way we interacted, and yesterday also when we were having the live class, we were discussing about it. No, and I shared you the answers that I read one of the story of Sophie and the big giant, the what is that, big friendly giant. Remember, I gave you the answers in the live class, and I told about the story, and I asked you to write it down. Remember, no, children? So today in the recorded class, before going back to the story review, I will be giving you one task. Okay, but before that, just what we have done in our second period today, just a reminder. Okay, so today we have done the Coromandel fisher. Now Coromandel is what? When you go with the geographical what you call the physical feature of our country, you will come to know that India is an island. No, sorry, a peninsula covered by three sides of water. So in the eastern side of the Indian coastal areas, the eastern side is known as the Coromandel coast. Okay, and the western side is Malabar and Konkan. No, so western is Konkan and Malabar, eastern is known as the Coromandel coast. Now this Coromandel is an area, it is a coastal area nearby the sea of the sea, where it is Arabian Sea. Okay, eastern side Arabian Sea. So that particular area which is on the edges of the eastern side is known as the Coromandel coast. Now when we talk about the Coromandel, we come to know that okay, this is a place which is situated nearby the coastal area. So the main occupation of the people in the coastal area is what? Fishing, because they cannot able to do cultivation there, they cannot do farming. Why? What is the reason? The reason is that the water of the coastal area is saline. A salinity is there in the water, and if there is a saline water, we cannot able to do the cultivation work. No farming can be done. So the main occupation of the people who are living in the coastal regions, whether it is your Orissa, whether it is the coastal area of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, you will find that these people, instead of going with the farming, they those who are living in the coastal areas, I am talking about those areas, okay, where the river is not there. So they cannot able to do the cultivation, and because of that, their main occupation is fishing. And when they do the fishing, they have to go to the sea coastal areas, where they have to put their net into the sea, and then finally they catch the fishes, and with the help of that they earn their living and they satisfy the need of their family. But when they are in the coastal areas, you must have studied, again I am coming back to social studies, they are suffering from the problem of tides. You must tide, I am not talking about the surf, okay, no tide powder. Here I am talking about the high tide and the low tide. So there might be some of the time when there is a tide in the sea, and if there is a high tide also, it becomes very difficult for the fishermen to take their boat and to do their shipping, because of the high tide they might get drowned. If it is a low tide also, again the same situation is there. So the life of the people who are living in the coastal area is very difficult, because the life is totally dependent upon the sea and upon the tide. If there is no tide, they can easily go to the depth of the sea, and they can, or to the far away from the land towards the sea, so they can go. But if there is a tide, a strict instruction was given that fishermen are not supposed to go nearby the coastal area. So what they will do, they have to remain restricted towards their own home, because they cannot put their life into danger. So this is about the Coromandel fishers. That the now it is not only about the people who are living in the Coromandel coastal areas. There are the people who are living in the Malabar coast as well. No, Konkan coast also. So those who are living in that coastal areas in the Arabian Sea, they are also facing the same problem. So here we are going to talk about the problems of the fisherman in this very poem. And the outcome which we will be coming to know about reading this poem will be, we will come to know that the fishermen are the king of the sea, because they are ruling on the sea and they take lot of risk, means they put themselves into risk and they go towards the sea in order to earn their living, in order to catch the fishes, in order to put their net into the sea to catch fishes. Okay, so here the poet of this poem is Mrs. Sarojini Naidu, and Mrs. Sarojini Naidu is one of the most renowned freedom fighter, and she has written lot of poems which was basically the poem which provokes the people of that era to understand the importance of independence. So when she wrote this, as she has taken birth in 1879, so during that time British were there and they were ruling on us. So with the help of the poem, she tried to make the people understand that independence, freedom is very important for us, and we have to get it, and we have to be ready to make any sacrifices in order to make the Britishers to quit India. So she was very active member, or we can say the active person or figure in the Indian struggle of independence, and she was accompanied by Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi loved the way she has written the poem. She motivated the people, she encourages the people for the freedom fighting, and then with the help of her poem, and then when she started writing the poem and she was able to motivate the people, Mahatma Gandhi was very much impressed by her ways, and then he gave her a nickname or a title. It was an honor for her, and the title was given to her by Mahatma Gandhi was Nightingale of India. Okay, then the most notable work which she has done is the Golden Threshold and the Bazaar of Hyderabad. So in the Bazaar of Hyderabad, nowadays we are not referring to that book, we are referring to NCERT book. Otherwise, previously when we were having the Gul Mohar book in our school, at that time in class 8 this poem was there, and I taught this poem in class 8 to the student, now those who are doing their graduations. Okay, so this in the Bazaar of Hyderabad, she has written about that varieties of shops are there in the bazaar in Hyderabad, and how she went to each and every shop and she talked with them, and then how the shopkeepers, they interacted with her, and then she insisted them that as we are having a different type of shops there, but still we are united. So she stressed to the word unity in diversity. This is what the moral which she used to convey with her writes up. Okay, so this is about the Sarojini Naidu, and then we will read about some of the rhyming words which is given in our book. So light, night, free, sea or glee, call, all, drives and lives. So these are some of the rhyming words which we will come across when we will read the poem. Okay, so this is all about our Coromandel fishers, because I just want to recapitulate what we have done in our live class. Okay, so if you want, I will share you the bio sketch of Sarojini Naidu. So we'll come to know that Sarojini Naidu was an Indian political activist and a poet, proponent of civil rights, women emancipation, and anti-imperialistic ideas. She was an important figure in the India's struggle for independence from colonial rule. She worked as a poet, earned her sobriquet, that is Nightingale of India, by Mahatma Gandhi. She was born in the year 1879 on 13th of February. She died in 1947 after the independence on 2nd of March in Lucknow. The nickname was Nightingale of India. She had, the name of her parent was, the father's name was Aghori Nath Chattopadhyay, whereas the mother's name was Varada Sundari Devi. And she had the children Padmaja Naidu, Leela Mani Naidu, Neelavar Naidu, Jayasurya Naidu, and many more. Okay, so we'll not go in detail. Then the notable work which I told, the notable work was The Golden Threshold in the Bazaar of Hyderabad, and the political party which she joined was the Indian National Congress. The nationality which she got was the Indian nationality. Okay, so this I will be sharing you in the Google Classroom. You have to write everything in this period itself. Now secondly, as we discussed about the story review, if you remembered, a day before we were dealing with the story review, and in that story review I gave you the idea how to write the story, or how to express our story review in the once we read the story. So I think this is the one. So in the story review we read about that introduction, where we have to write about the title of the story. Then we have to write what kind of story is it. Then the other step was to write the summary of the story and the characters, main character, then what happened to the character. Then we wrote about the analysis as I have given you. So analysis, that whether which part of the story you like, which part of the story you least like, and lastly the conclusion, that how did you feel about the ending, what do you feel, why do you feel in this manner. So now after listening to this very video, in this very period you have to, like we have discussed about the Happy Prince in the classroom, and it was just a verbal communication with one another. So at that very time it was not possible for me to ask each and everyone about the review of the particular story. So now what you will be going to do is that each and every one of you, please write down your own story review of the lesson The Happy Prince. Okay, individually you have to write, and I will be going to accept the first three I'm talking about. I will be going to share the first three review which I will get the first. Okay, the first three answers which the child is going to send me, that will be shared by me to each and every one of you. Okay, so start writing, take your copy, take a pen, start writing your own story view about the story The Happy Prince. Okay, write the introduction of the story, write the summary of the story in a brief manner. Okay, and then write the favorite part of the story and what is the least favorite part of the story, and lastly the conclusion. And in the conclusion is very important. Okay, so in the conclusion, like some of you that day you said that, ma'am, I loved the conclusion because now the swallow bird spirit and the Happy Prince spirit will live together. So you have that point of view, others were having a different point of view. So write your own point of view and send me within this period. Okay, first three answers will be shared by me on Saturday. Okay, so take care, God bless you.